Yo, what's up guys? It's SnapBeastie, and today I'm going to be showing you 5 tips on how to have a winning mentality. A lot of these tips will apply to Overwatch or other video games, but a good number of these tips can also apply to your real life, right? Like outside of gaming. So, take what you can from this, and yeah, let's just get straight into it. So, tip number 1 to have a Okay, so first of all, before tip number 1, what is a winning mentality? Now, a winning mentality is a mentality that enables people to be victorious more frequently. So essentially, right? Like to do, and I'll go into depth on how to do that, but focusing on improvement, it's like don't think of wins and losses as like your only form of like knowing how well you're doing at something, right? But rather focusing on improvement. It's like if you notice that you're doing considerably better in whether it's like Overwatch or in the thing that you're trying to pursue, then keep that in mind and think, oh wow, I'm doing better at this. That's good. I should keep improving so that way I can continue to win, right? And do well. So, second tip is that don't compare yourself to others. And that comes from like often when people compare themselves to people that are like better than them at something, right? To put it bluntly, it's like it'll make you feel inadequate, right? Don't think, oh man, I'm not as good as, like if someone plays basketball. They might say, oh, I'm not as good as LeBron James, right? But it doesn't mean that they can't still try to become as good, right? Like obviously, that's an extreme example because LeBron James is extremely good at basketball, and it's rare for anyone to come to a skill, but someone can still do like well, right? And they can actually learn from what they do, right? So it's like trying to emulate good habits from those players that are better than you, or not even players, just from people that do a specific thing better than you do. It's extremely beneficial because like it's not at that point, it's not comparing yourself to others, but it's comparing what like a trait of yours to a trait of another person, right? Like something individual rather than an entire person, if that makes any sense. So it's like people, like if you see that they're doing something right, or they're doing really well in something, think to yourself, okay, why are they doing that, right? What's the purpose of them doing that? How can they get away with it, or why does that enable them to succeed? And just like keep that in mind and apply that to whatever you're doing. So for Overwatch, right, an example is like why does Sinatra crouch spam, right? Why does Sinatra like spam hello? Like the reason first of all, the reason why Sinatra spells hello is for VM, or says hello is for VM, but other than that, the reason why he crouch spams is because it's extremely difficult for people to hit him as Tracer, right? He was one of the first Tracers actually to put crouch spamming into his playstyle, right? And because of that, it enabled him to I'll go to this next map. Enabled him to do quite well. So like because he could dodge bullets, it was unexpected, right? And like it only is it can be done with the press of a button a few times. He could use that in his gameplay to continuously improve or continuously beat other players. So like you have to know why people are doing something, right? Don't just copy someone just because they're successful and without knowing what their intention was in doing that act. Like you have to know why they're doing it, like how they're doing it, right? Like the situation in which they're doing said thing, and use that and apply that to yourself, right? It's like
Down for the count.
Because if you don't do that, then you could potentially make your case worse, right? If you don't know what their intention is. So I think too, how to have a winning mentality is, you know, lastly, just learn from both your losses and your wins, right? Like a loss doesn't, and as cheesy as it sounds, right? A loss doesn't have to be a loss. A loss can be a win in a different regard if you learn from it, right? If someone doesn't learn from a loss, and or if someone doesn't learn from failure and they're very upset, then what'll happen is that they will perform worse or make worse decisions because their judgment is clouded because they're frustrated, right? So they're just like, oh, I want to succeed, I want to succeed. When in reality, that's not the case because they need to like remain optimistic and again, continue to learn from both their losses and their wins, right? So it's like winning too. Just because someone like wins or becomes successful doesn't mean they can they couldn't have done something better. So, like, look at things objectively, and look at both yourself as a player or yourself as a person, and what you could have done differently in that given case. Like in Overwatch 2, right? Let's say you're Hanzo and you have a Zarya on your team, and you use Dragon early prior to the Zarya getting grabbed. The Zarya has grabbed at like 70, 80, right? And you use Dragon because you think the Dragon's going to be good. But it doesn't get any value from zoning them, right? Because they just move out of the way. And the Zarya would have had grab. And if you did get the grab Dragon off, you would have won. So those kind of things, it's like you need to keep them in mind. Because if you don't, then then you'll never improve. And like in real life too, people just need to they need to like learn from both their success, right, and their failures, because ultimately no one's always going to lose and no one is always going to win, right? That's just how the way things are. Or sorry, that's just the way things are. But if you maximize the amount of times that you're successful, then you're more likely to have more success, right? Like in theory. So yeah. I think honestly all of these tips can apply to like many things, whether it's a video game, a sport, a trade, you know, like a ton of things. So I really hope you guys learned something from this, right? It was fun to make this video, for sure. You know, it's a little bit something different. It's something a little bit different than usual, but you know, it's like I want to make my content more diverse, and I always want to keep trying new things for you guys to always keep my content fresh. So yeah, all right, thank you all for watching. Peace out, love you guys, and please leave a like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video, and drop a comment if you guys have any suggestions for improvement or whatnot. So yeah, I love you all, guys. Peace out.